Hi, I'm Matt from hockeyreviews.ca, and this is the Warrior Ritual RG5 blocker. So this isn't a review. This is just opening it up and seeing all the custom options on it. I'll have a ton of content of this: the catching glove, the pads, the actual talking about the glove itself. Plus, obviously, when I wear it, I'll have stuff for that too. But right now, I haven't really opened up a Warrior blocker in a while, so I'm going to talk about that. And so we'll look at it. So right off the bat, I have a 2X Pro here just to compare the profiles and kind of the fingers, basically where the fingers extend to. Warrior has options so you can change it. So I'll kind of try to overlay show a difference between them. So yeah, also working with a new camera angle. Let me know what you think of it. I think it will be better for pads and stuff like that. So yeah, okay, so we'll get this out of the way. So how this opens up is pretty cool, and I don't really see a ton of videos on this, so at least I haven't found any. So here we go. This whole palm comes out, and you can move it up and down. So let's do that. First, the outermost part right here, undo that, and then undo the thumb itself. Next, I find is if you go the fingertips right here, undo those. Pull it out right here, undo those, and pull it out. The cuff, we can do that back up. So there you have the fingers kind of everything pulled out of the actual blocker part itself. Now we have to take off the side pieces right here. So you can see I'll show it when it's up. So it's not going to be super fun to put back in, but you can also remove the thumb piece, but I'm going to do that in a little bit, once I get this out. So that might make it easier, which honestly it probably will. Okay, and then we pull off the actual palm. Okay, so we have the palm. We have the open board like this. That's how the palm connects. There's been a ton of hairs in this thing. So there is, taking this out. So there's the padding on the inside of the palm. This material right here, this foam, was actually used in the glove to hold the shape of the catching glove closed. So shove that back in there. I like how you can access this. Just because you can refill it if you need to or add protection. I had to do that on the Warrior G2 palms. Basically the stock, I don't know if mine was like everyone else's, but I had pro stock ones, and the foams on the inside were too thin. So when I used it, after a while, the foam broke down. I had to layer it, so I layered it with two, and it was really thick. It was probably about, actually this is thicker than the one I had, but it was thick and much more thicker than the stock ones, and it was actually protective. But that's kind of cool like that. So here's the inside of the glove, as you can see. So there is another thing we can remove, which is this thumb piece. So I'm going to do, or I think we can remove it. So we'll take a look and pull all these little pieces out and see what we can do here. 1, 2, and then 3. So then we have the thumb piece as well, just sitting right there, which is pretty cool. This is pretty cool how the blocker can open up and you can change it pretty substantially. One last piece is this index finger protection. So we have a piece right here holding it in place, and we will pull that out, and right there, and pull that out. And so there's your index finger protections too. I like how this is removable because you can adjust it up and down. But so there is the blocker itself. As you can see on the sides right here, shove that foam back in the right spot. You have a low, medium, high, low, medium, high. So basically the top strap, bottom strap. They default to mid. So we'll put this one in as a low just to go kind of, or actually we'll do it high first and then we'll go to low afterwards. Here is, again, the palm. I just want to take another look at it. Kind of interesting. The cool thing about these palms is that they do have protection on the back, so there is foam padding in there and on the sides. I don't think this is really adequate. I don't think the index finger protection on this is really the best compared to some other gloves out there. So this is okay, but it definitely could be better. To be honest, it's very similar to Warriors player gloves. Definitely could be better on the outside finger protection. But overall, kind of cool. The foam they're using, the material they're using here is pretty soft. So I gotta give them props for that. And the pillow is pretty thick there too. So, all right, so I guess we'll put this back together now. And first we'll do the index finger, and I'll do it on like the most protective setting just to show the differences. And because I like the most protective stuff. If I can get that up there. That is easily the easiest one to do, which is great. Okay, that one keeps getting in the way, but we'll leave that for now. So we are going to go to the high position. So I wonder what the best way to do this is. The one awkward thing is this always gets like stuck when it's being put in. So it's kind of a pain. And hopefully this is all on camera. I haven't used this spot before, but I think it would be more useful than what I've been using in the past. So that way it's an actual overhead and not on an angle. So let me know what you think of it. It would be really nice if this stuff would stop sticking to itself while I'm trying to put it in. But alas, Velcro. That's how it works. Okay, so we got one. And then this would be much easier, and they had like little tabs at the end of the Velcro pieces. They do have it on some parts, but not on these side pieces. Okay, so side part is in. Now we'll kind of flatten that out. Flatten that out, and then put it through there. And what I mean by tabs is kind of this piece, so you can thread it through easier, but that is not on the side pieces. So I don't know how well this high position is going to work for my hand. So I got a size large palm. If you have smaller palms, it might work better. What I'm worried about is like basically the fingertips and how much coverage is going to be, because these don't move, which is kind of disappointing. But I mean, everything else moves, so I got to give them credit there. But these don't really move, so it's kind of weird in that sense. Okay, so that is in. Now for the thumb, or actually I can do this really quick. They also have 4 different spots here. So the default one was this one and that one, or originally. So this, I am going to, actually I could move this over too, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to pull it over here, and I'm lazy because I don't want to change that one. Okay, so we're going to pull that over there. Doesn't actually have to be that tight. Leave it right there. That has to wait. Fingers can go in now too, just so it's easier without the thumb. I won't do this again. I'll move the position, but I won't do this on camera, so you don't have to sit through this. I thought it would be pretty interesting to watch it being assembled and taken apart at least once, because I know, I think the channel is called Goalie Union now. Did one, kind of showed off the catching glove in the different palm compared to the G5 or 4, and I thought that was really interesting. I watched the whole thing, so I think this is interesting, so I'm gonna do it. So bear with me. Okay, so the thumb, 2 pieces right here. I want to, originally I think it goes through this one. Yeah, I think it originally went through that one, so I'm going to put it through the back one because I'm moving the thumb down. So we'll kind of line that up, line it up here, attach. There's another piece right here that kind of already attached itself. Attach, make sure it's kind of attached there, and then we put this one through here. I got to give Warrior huge props at how like changeable these are. And I know they've done this for a while now, but obviously I only had the G2, so it was just kind of up and down. It wasn't this comprehensive, so this is pretty cool. I didn't see a Warrior pad really working for me for a while, and I'll explain that when I talk about the pad specifically. The G5, it will work for me, and so I'm kind of excited to use it, and I'm happy that they made that change. I'm really struggling with this one here. You can, like, so the way that these works is just slats in the foam. So one is getting caught on the Velcro when I'm trying to push it through. So that's annoying. But two, it's like, it's not a straight pull either. So it's kind of a little bit frustrating or difficult. Okay, so we got there. Now we're going for the thumb. And this one definitely needs the pull to get through that loop. And then we attach the thumb. And then finally, the outer wall. And we'll put this one, we'll put this one right here. I think that would be fine. And we'll put it right there. So there we have the blocker board on its high setting. So it's covered, you can kind of see it right there. So basically what that is, and my fingers are now at the very, very tip of the boards. So this feels closest to me like a V4 glove did. Where medium, like where it was medium, is closer to this, which is a kind of a, I would say, a hand position's a bit up here. So I liked the 1X glove because the hand position was closer to this, and I liked it being different. So I really like how Warrior gives you that option. So my thing about the fingertips, or what I was talking about, as you can see, the fingertips are right at the end. This glove doesn't really have good fingertip protection anyways. I think they could do better on that. I'll talk about that in the review. So that's what I was kind of talking about, where because I have a larger hand, that obviously is coming closer to the tips, as you can see. But it's still okay. I like this a lot better down there. Normally, like stock, it's up there. I extended it all the way. So that's I like kind of that spot that will kind of sit on the top of the paddle like that. So, or sorry, sit on the top of paddle like that. So pucks shouldn't be able to jam in your finger, so I like that. So hopefully this is a better view of the finger protection. So as you can see, because that's extended, because the fingers are all, like it's on the high position, the fingers go past like right there. And it's not really where like that little baby blue piece is supposed to be lining up with. It's supposed to be like across the face of the stick. But that's what happens, like the different hand positions, you can't make it all perfectly work for that. I did look for a different attachment point, and there isn't one close enough over here for it to actually attach anything, so you're kind of stuck in this position. So I do want to say really quick, when you're taking this palm off, take this thumb part off first. It makes it so much easier to get in there and actually change all that. All right, so here is now at the low position. So as you can see, the cuff is much further back now, and the fingertips end much closer to like right here. The interesting thing for me doing this is this part, like when I put my fingers out, it's like kind of getting in the way of this, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure why, but that is like the highest position. Basically the point of that is so more of the blocker is kind of below your fingers. So if you get beat low blocker, it kind of helps with that a bit. Whereas when you go to the mid or the, well, I guess this one's called the high, it feels more balanced. So when you get a puck like there, when you get a puck like there, more your hands kind of centered like this, so it won't kind of dip like that more. It will kind of stay more stronger, I guess. But again, this one is so when your hand positions on the leg, because your hand's here, you're covering more lower, so it gets that lower blocker shot. So kind of interesting with that. I really like how it's so customizable and it gives you those different options. But I do feel because it's so customizable, it does some of them work better for others. Like these feel kind of weird in this position for my hand length. And this felt bad for the other one, but when we put this on, it's basically right in the perfect spot right now. So before, basically this part was, when we did this part was actually on this part of the stick because my fingers were out more, and this was further back, but right now it covers that spot perfectly. So it's kind of interesting in that sense, and that's kind of how I imagine it should be designed. But again, that's because the fingertips, my fingers end here and the fingertips are going further. But before, The fingertips were basically right there, and this was too far back. So kind of interesting in that sense. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful and interesting. There will be a ton of content on this whole set, a snapshot review this in the future, a glove video snapshot, and as well as the pads. So check those out. I'm really looking forward to using this stuff. It's my first time back in Warrior since the G2s. So I'm really curious to see how they are and to see if I like them. I had a lot of requests for this stuff. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Remember to like this video, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description. I'll make smaller content, picture kind of changes on Instagram, stuff like that. And then if you do buy a piece of gear or want me to review something, please reach out to the manufacturer and let them know. That way I can get on their radar so I can get gear and talk about it, do videos like this. Because I paid for these myself, and I know some social media people got this stuff early. I would have done this a long time ago if I had the chance, but I didn't. So thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.